So welcome to the Age of Listening channel. This is the longer version of my short that I've just posted up on the threes in tarot. So a quick explanation then on what threes actually mean. All tarot decks work on the basis of numerology. There's a reason why threes are expression, growth, creativity, groups and progression. The difference is that the more recent tarot deck of Rider-Waite and Smith has seemed to have had a bit of a negative slant on all of the swords or air cards, and I kind of am being a bit of a devil's advocate, or I'm being a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? I'm championing for the cause of swords, because they are just as positive as the wands and just as positive as the pentacles, but they get a bad rap. So I really want to sort of balance, as is typical of my Taurus self. I kind of want to balance that out a little bit. So with the threes, we're looking at expression. The harvest is in, so we've got growth, we've got creativity here and groups, and we have progression, and definitely creativity there of the entrepreneurial card, as I call it, going out and making it happen. In twos it was a thought, in threes it's kind of manifesting. And so let's look at the difference then in why this card suddenly became, in modernity of tarot reading, why it's become heartbreak, and understand that there is a positivity to this card. And as the Tarot de Marseille groups kind of scratch their heads in wonder at why on earth Rider-Waite and Smith portrayed this as such a negative card, hopefully we can expand on all that anyway. So with the Rider-Waite and Smith, the secret society that they belong to, you've got two different fractions. They parted ways with the Andrew Crawley of Thoth deck, but the Thoth and the Rider-Waite and Smith tend to mean the same thing. So it's sadness, humiliation, frustration, discord, division, rupture, removal, absence, and that's what you'll find in most of the books explaining what they mean by the Three of Cards, which we know has got nothing to do with the threes of expression, growth, creativity and everything else. So why did they decide to change this from the Tarot de Marseille, which was doing quite well, because their deck means explosion of basic ideas. So he's at the beginning of his entrepreneurship. Here, this is the explosion of basic ideas, intellectual points of view, intellectual enthusiasm, combined it with passion for learning, going to university, picking up a new book, intellectual desire, a young wisdom. And you know, I quite liked, for the first time I actually saw a really good example here where you've got, you know, there's been a bit of a flood, and you've got three dogs, and one's stuck on one side, one's on the other, and one's in a bit of an island. So they've got to work it out, and they've got to sort of put their heads together. So, you know, if anything, I see this as putting heads together. You know, it is sitting there and applying yourself at a desk and going, right, I'm going to sort this out. I'm going to use my intellectual mind and I'm going to work through this. And that's how the Three of Swords generally is looked at with the original tarot. So why have they made it so negative? Let's go through then. You've got the rain, which is the tears. But they talk, well, some people talk about this because there's such confusion over this. Is the storms going away, or are they coming to you? Some people see this as present as well. So there's mass confusion over, is this past, present or future? You know, when you've got the swords that represent intellect and challenges through thinking, this could be a group with people sort of putting their heads together, as I've said. The way that Thoth and the Rider-Waite-Smith excuse their behaviour of changing what the threes mean is that they say that there is strength through tears. You know, there's sort of the spiritual awakening once you've been through sorrow, and that you have to go through sorrow in order to... Well, why shouldn't that be that? Why isn't that cups then? Why haven't they put the sword? Why haven't they put a heart here with 3 cups amidst a broken heart? To me, and if I was to put my kind of conspiratorial hat on, and I mean this in all seriousness, the battle is in the mind. They know that. They know that mind over matter is one of the alchemical principles of being kind of living up to our potential. But instead they're kind of fanning the flame to the general public that it's okay to be in sorrow. It's okay to be, you know, indecisive. It's okay to go away and have that restful period because of all the drama. In a way, they've systematically brought to a head in tarot reading a method of debilitating a backbone, a mental backbone for the population. And I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people, and you can give me a thumbs down for that, that's fine. Because those who can see will see, and those who can't see won't see. And it's the same with these 2 cards. This is awakening and clarity. That's what 9s mean. It's attainment of mental clarity, but instead they put a negative card. 10, end of cycle, completion, but instead they make it all about, and it's rebirth as well. This is mental understandings, logic that you've accumulated in the past. It's a great card, but again, they've made it negative. And I look around at the world and I see that there are so many people that are turning around going, I get offended, I'm offended. And this is mental backbone is gone. It's vanished from our world at the moment, in the media anyway. But I think the vast majority of us understand that the battle is in the mind, and the only person that can battle that mind is you. You're the only person that can say, well, I'm not going to be offended. You're the only person that can say, I'm going to think with my logical left brain about this situation. I'm not going to be heartbroken. Why would I be heartbroken? He or she has shown me exactly who they are. That's mental clarity and having mental backbone. So if you've got 3 in a group, then, I mean, I've always seen this as be careful of 3, you know, with these 3s. Oh, that's a totally different story. I need to do something on that separate, because they've put the colours for specific reasons. But I'm going to champion for the 3 of Swords, and I'm going to say, no, let's bring it back to what it actually was meant to be before the secret societies came up and made you a victim. Because this is all about victimhood. Can't stand it. 3s are positive. They're the Godhead. They are the Trinity. And whenever you see a 3, you are in the presence of creativity and growth. And I champion that till my dying day. And that's all I've got to say on that.